Check 1, 2. See if anybody can hear me. All right, well, it looks like it's about 12:15 Mountain Time. Just wanted to kind of get started here. See if I can position the computer where I can. Let's go back this way. Yeah, there we go. Okay, well, as people start trickling in, I just wanted to let you guys know that I have a lot on my mind. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of get the stream going with a video that was very persuasive to me. So if anybody can hear me in the chat, let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Let's see. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll start my little video that I was going to play here. Okay. Yeah, and this will kind of give people an opportunity to kind of trickle in. And let me see real quick before I do that. Let's go to just YouTube here. Probably feedback if I pull up the live stream, but I just wanted to kind of see. I'm just going to give people an opportunity to kind of trickle in here. Let's see. Okay. So it looks like, let's just click on this real quick. All right. So there's 2 watching. Let me just pause it real quick. If anybody can hear me, let me know. All right, so I'm actually going to play this video. Okay. Audio is a bit crackly. Okay. All right, well, just keep talking to me. I'm going to go ahead and play this video and see if everything comes through okay. I apologize if there's any issues with the audio, but bear with me here. Here, real quick. Can you guys hear that video? Can you hear that? Oh, I'm just checking my chat. Hold on. Can you hear the video? Of course. All right. Well, let me see if I can figure out what to do with the audio. Let's see. Okay, well, I was going to try to play that video, but I still need to do a little homework on understanding StreamYard as to how you can actually, because I actually showed a video on the last stream that I did, and it didn't actually come through on the audio. I'm trying to figure out how that works. Let's see. Okay, there's a screen here. Okay, screen share. There's a box down left. I'll try that real quick. Good. Okay. So just trying to get some technical issues worked out. I apologize. Let me know if you can hear this. I'm just going to run it. Okay, can you hear me? All right. Anyways, guys, I'm still trying to figure out this StreamYard stuff. Okay, so I apologize. I'll do a little more research on how to actually get that to work. Really, I'll just kind of show you what it is. It was the ODD. Here, let me just do a screen share here. I wonder. Okay. Okay, so anyways, it's this video here, the 5G virus and fear-based programming. Basically, it's this is kind of annoying. I'm sorry, guys. Here, I'll just stop it. Yeah, it's this one here. You can see the thumbnail. So the reason I wanted to point that out is I wanted to kind of show you. Are you still having trouble hearing my voice? Static? Okay. Let's see. Check 1, 2. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Huh. Not sure why it's doing that. Or maybe I'll turn off that fan. I've been running a fan. Maybe it's vibrating the table here. How does it sound now? Let me know what you guys think of the audio. Is there any issues with the audio? Okay, well, we got to start moving forward, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of get into what I was saying. So basically, I've been talking a lot about the 5G or the actually not the 5G so much, but the coronavirus and how it's affecting the world today. Um, I actually, obviously, everybody's affected, and but there is, oh, they're still static. Okay, um, crap. Let's see. See if I can. Okay, I don't know. Is there still a lot of static? You gotta love live streams because you have all these technical issues sometimes. Well, when you're me, because I don't really know what the heck I'm doing with this very well. Um, okay, okay. Yeah, I apologize. Thanks, Joni. Um, I appreciate that. As far as okay. All right. Well, anyways, moving along. I'll just go ahead and start moving forward. So I've been thinking a lot about some stuff. Now I don't know about you guys, but I really I like connecting with the community that we're in. I wanted to start doing my live stream on Sunday, just to kind of connect with people in general. Just hoping that a lot of people out there, want to feel more integrated into the community. And okay, so I'm going to actually give an opportunity to people here in a little bit to kind of jump on the stream, because I want to talk to people. That's kind of why I do this. I'm not very good at talking to myself, to be honest with you. Um, uh, yeah, you're a troll, Joni. Just joking. Um, but anyways, so okay, so kind of going back to kind of the beginning of where I'm coming from. A lot of this stuff, I started looking at kind of the truther type research. Um, I would say probably 2008, 2009 timeframe. I started really indulging my senses, trying to understand things on a deeper level. And basically, I started looking into the 9/11 thing when I started hearing people say it was a big conspiracy. I'm like, meh, I don't know how anybody in the government would ever try to, set something up like that. That just sounds too crazy, too outside of the box. But whenever people start making wild claims, I feel like I need to challenge them, and that's kind of been my problem. Is that me being a skeptic? I wanted to, challenge people in their assertions about this reality, and they're saying that 9/11 was an inside job or whatever. And then I started hearing like JFK was an inside job, and obviously right after that you hear about like um, Sandy Hook and all these other things, as far as you know the conspiracy type stuff. So anyways, but before that I was actually pretty adamantly trying to understand the Bible and the end times type stuff. And I actually watched a video that was talking about the predictions or the Daniel's timeline of the return of Jesus. And now for me, I was like pretty excited about learning that stuff at that time. And I would actually say that really the thing that kind of started my venture into this was when I was listening to, um, you know, Fox News and trying to understand, um, you know, kind of what the conservative approach was to politics. Very staticky. Gosh darn it. Yeah, I'll try to, let's see. There's nothing on my end that would indicate why. Here, let me see if I can, just hang on a second. I'm gonna. Okay, so I unplugged. Can you hear me better now, or does that sound better? Okay, so anyways, we'll try to. So there's kind of a process to kind of my line of thinking with all this stuff. So going back to when I was kind of into like Glenn Beck and stuff like that, and then I started listening to Alex Jones. Oh, is it better? Good. So anyways, I started kind of venturing down. Oh, perfect. Thanks for helping me out through this, Seth. But anyways, I appreciate everybody dealing with me on these technical issues. But here in a little bit, I'll invite some people on so we can kind of talk about some stuff, because I just kind of want to preface with kind of my approach to reality. And I feel like this is pretty important to try to understand, you know, this whole big picture. Well, from my point of view, at least. So anybody that follows my channel kind of knows my point of view to some degree, but I kind of want to tell you the chain of events as to how I got into my line of thinking. But anyways, I started, you know, going down this path of trying to understand, you know, like the political outlook on things. I was a big follower of Ron Paul. I thought he was pretty amazing as far as a presidential candidate and all that. But when I saw, you know, how they just rail, like they did not give him an opportunity to debate against the other mainstream candidates or whatever. And then people around me started saying like, oh, the media is just controlling everything. And I'm like, whatever. And so anybody that's kind of in this community understands this whole thought process and kind of the progressive ascension, I guess you could say, of understanding. And so anyways, so going back to this whole thing about my understanding of the Bible, or you know, understanding prophecy, real quick, I'm just gonna hey, how's it going, Singe Man? So anyways, just bear with me for a minute, you guys. I want to show you kind of something I thought was interesting. Now, I'm really interested in the symbology of any ancient writing, for one thing. Just kind of preface that I am into ancient writing. I think that there's a lot of really interesting symbology and metaphoric type or mythology type stuff that is written. Now, my belief system on mythology now has kind of shifted, because I don't look at mythology like it's fake anymore. I look at it like it's a true story that has some sort of hidden message or whatever. Let's hold on. So it says, I need my spirit lifted. My entire family has argued and yelled at me when I tried to explain it's mind control. That's kind of what I'm getting into. I hate to admit that this is not the most positive talk that I'm going to be doing, but anyways, but as far as, you know, I kind of approach this from a higher level understanding of things, because if you actually consider some of the ancient writings, and I believe that there are prophetic type writings, and I'm going to start really just by showing you kind of a couple things real quick, and then we'll kind of go from there. So Daniel 7 is what talks about the four beasts that were in a dream that Daniel had. Now, bear with me for a minute while I kind of set the stage on this whole thing about the beast, because it ties into the New World Order, okay? So, and I'm not trying to preach at you guys. I know it's Sunday or whatever, but that's not my motivation for, looking at things in the Bible. But I'm just going to kind of briefly read this. Daniel 7, in the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream, and his visions passed through his mind, and he was lying in bed. So anyways, Daniel said, in my vision at night I looked, and there were before me four winds of heaven churning up the great sea. Four great beasts, each different from the others, came up out of the sea. The first was a lion, or it was like a lion, and it had wings of an eagle. I watched it until its wings were torn off, and it was lifted from the ground so that it stood on its 2 feet like a human being, and the mind of a human. So the interesting thing about this is, so when I had a dream, I had a prophetic dream that basically said that my wife was pregnant. And I didn't believe it necessarily. I just rolled with it, and I told my wife, and she took a pregnancy test, and she was pregnant. So I believe that people can have dreams. Now, I also look into near-death experiences quite a bit, and there's a lot of weird symbology in near-death experiences, and there's a lot of weird symbology in dreams, and I think they kind of tie into each other. So this guy, Daniel, from the ancient times of Babylon, he wrote out this dream that he had, and he saw this lion-looking thing with eagle's wings. And if you look at the symbology of these creatures, there's a lot of countries or nations have certain things that are like the lion and the eagle are the English or United Kingdom, and then the eagle represents the United States as of, that's our family, or I'm sorry, the country bird, or our country animal, or whatever you call it. And then over here it talks about the second beast, which looks like a bear. These are great world powers, actually. If we keep reading on here, it says, I'm actually going to skip ahead. After that, in my vision at night, I looked, and there before me was the fourth beast, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, while I was thinking about the horns, there before me was another horn, a little one, which came up among them, and the three of the horns were uprooted before it. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to get to something here. Let's see here. River was flowing. Then I continued to watch before, or because of the boast. Hold on. It's talking about the rising up of the Antichrist. And I don't think the Antichrist is actually a person as much as I think it is a movement. In my vision at night, I looked, and there before me was like the Son of Man. Okay. Here's the interpretation of the dream. I, Daniel, was troubled in spirit, and the vision that passed through my mind disturbed me. I approached one of those standing there and asked them the meaning of this. So he told me, and it gave me the interpretation of these things. The four great beasts are four kings that will rise up on the earth, but the holy people of the Most High will receive
the kingdom and will possess it forever. Yes, forever and ever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the reason I was trying to point this out is these beasts represent kingdoms. They're actually people that are, or, you know, countries or kingdoms that rise up in power. And now the interesting thing is they are represented by animals or animal features. Now, if I was to ask somebody what animal feature would be represented, or what animal represents the United States, you'd probably say an eagle. And if there was an animal that represented the United Kingdom, you know, a lot of people would actually think, oh, that's like a lion or whatever. So now there's great world powers. Russia is likened to a bear. So anyways, the interesting thing about all these things is there is patterns that I notice. And I got kind of flipped out when I heard this the first time, because I was like, okay, this guy Daniel heard or, you know, saw these visions in a dream, and he likened it, and then somebody that, like an angel or something, interpreted the dreams, and he said that these are you know, kings or kingdoms. Now, the next thing I wanted to show you was Revelation 13. The beast out of the sea. It's talking about the same kind of things where the dragon stood at the seashore, and I saw the beast coming out of the sea, and it had 10 horns and 7 heads. Now, the interesting thing is that you start seeing the same traits of the beast in Daniel. You know, the 4 beasts are combined into one beast, so one body. So you have 10 horns and 7 heads on the same beast. Now, the reason I wanted to point this out, I'm not going to get like way into this, but I wanted to kind of point out that there is basically something in the Bible that points out that there is a new world order. And we can see that the new world order is really coming to life. And that's really what I wanted to point out in all this, is I wanted to show you that there is patterns. Now, I wish I could have played that video for you from ODD Reality. It's talking about like the connection to like Bill Gates and how he's part of the elite system and trying to create the Georgia Guidestone, you know, hold on a second. I don't know what that is. Paradoxine oxide. Heads will roll. It didn't come through on the computer. What is that? Is that like an emoji or something? Anyways, so I'm going to actually, if anybody's interested in coming on the stream, I'm actually going to post, because I would much rather talk to people than to talk to myself. So I'm going to actually, if anybody's interested in coming on, I'm going to post this. And then you can click on the link or copy it or whatever. And you're welcome to jump on and we'll just chat. I kind of wanted to preface kind of the discussion around the New World Order and like the Georgia Guidestones. If anybody is not familiar with the Georgia Guidestones, then, you know, obviously you're too sheltered. But yeah, so if anybody is just now getting in, I just now posted a link to the stream in the chat. So if you want to jump on, just you can click on it or copy it. And yeah, so I want to talk to you guys about the New World Order. And then also, if you have any other thoughts that you're interested in talking about, we can talk about that too. But I want to have kind of a community, you know, I call it the community mingle because there's a lot of people out there that are like-minded. And so anyways, I'll just keep talking for a minute until you guys decide to jump on. But yeah, so this 7-headed beast with 10 horns is likened to a world government in the Bible. And they're saying that it's trending toward a world government. And so basically all these kingdoms will join forces into one beast system. And they talk about the beast, like the mark of the beast and things like that. Like, I'm sure a lot of people have heard about that in the Bible. And a lot of these things are really symbolic. They're not necessarily like let's see. I don't know, they're symbolic. So the beast system, I believe, is talking about the new world order that we see today. Bush Sr. has been talking about, we'll implement the new world order, or whatever. He was like saying that we will make it a tangible, real thing or whatever. And that was back in the 80s. And it's this whole progressive movement has been systematically just introducing new, little baby steps toward the new world order. So, if you guys haven't really looked into this, if any of you are not really interested in, understanding the Bible and its fullness, I understand to some degree, a lot of people are kind of turned off to the Bible, but I look at all ancient writings kind of like, I think anybody has the capacity to kind of be that temple to receive information. So if you, so you know how like in a lot of religions, they have these temples, right? They have buildings. Now there's, I guess in 2 Samuel something, it talks about the kingdom, or not the kingdom, but the temple being built by David or his son or something like that. And but it said it would actually be a spiritual temple, but Solomon ended up building the physical temple. Now, the reason that I feel like this whole temple thing is important is because now, with a lot of religions, Christianity specifically, we'll talk about the temple. Now, if you actually look at the book of Revelation, where it talks about the temple being, oh, hold on. I wonder if I just got a message from somebody that I wanted to join the stream here. Sorry, guys. Does anybody want to jump on the stream? I'm freaking. I want to talk to some people. So just click on that link right here. Get on, man. I want to talk to somebody. I don't care who it is. It's easier to talk to people than to talk to myself. I'm just saying. So I'll just keep talking to myself in the meantime, but I'll just keep this up until. Hey, elaborate on this. I want to know what you mean. When people say revelation, revelation to me means to reveal, or so the word apocalypse, apocalypto or apocalypse or whatever, actually is the revealing. Now, I believe that we are in the age of the revealing, and I don't necessarily think that I fall under a different umbrella than someone else. I think every person in the world has the capacity to be a conduit for God or whatever, whoever's communicating to us on the other side. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, the Mandela effect. Okay. So the Mandela effect is that the the book of Revelations. I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, I always talk about the book of Revelation, and I don't think I ever say Revelations. It's just something that people have traditionally started doing. Voynich, I don't know if you're still there, but I really enjoyed talking to you last week. So if anybody wants to jump on, just click on that link. I know that a lot of you are just like, whatever, I'll just chat in yeah, Psalms. Yeah, so like I grew up in church, and a lot of these things are, I can see where you're coming from. That so like I hear Brian Stavely talking about the lion and the lamb and stuff like that when it's the wolf and the lamb. You know, okay, so just like anybody that's in a community or a network of people, it seems like people have more influence on each other than even oh, it's okay. It's okay if your phone dies. Go get a charger and then jump on the stream. I want to talk to somebody. So anyways, so yeah, this thing about Mandela effect, I actually feel like I'm not saying that Mandela effect is not legitimate, but I think that if you consider like the hive mind or the community, what do you call it? Basically, the influence that the community has on people is like, say when you're like in school or something, you start hanging out with people all the time, and then you start understanding the culture of people at school, and you could be learning a lot of information in books and stuff, but you start realizing that there's a lot more to learn outside of books. And you start picking things up just in your everyday life. And so the books might teach us certain things, but I think that when people start learning from other people, I've been hearing that word internet hive mind a lot. I think that there's a hive mind of people, and then they start creating things, and it could be a collective consciousness type thing where we're creating like the Mandela effect or whatever, but I don't necessarily think that like the way people remember things is always just a Mandela effect. I think it could also be considered just, the way that people learned through their community or their culture, because culture has a very large influence on people. And so anyways, hold on a second. Starting to wonder if this time is hey, if anybody can hear me right now, tell me where you're calling me from or listening me from, because I want to kind of know. I kind of picked the time frame of around noon Mountain Time, and a lot of my most interactive people are from like Europe or Australia and stuff like that. And I know it's the middle of the night there, so I can understand why people may be unavailable during this time. But if you guys are in the States, let me know. Oh my gosh. So you're in No, if you're a race from Washington, what does that mean? So, okay, so as far as the Mandela effect, yeah, Ricky Ricardo, I've heard that. I mean, I don't really know how to say that that isn't true or anything, because I don't really have much of an opinion on it, because I grew up around it, but I wasn't much of a I Love Lucy fan per se. I mean, I have a friend that loves I Love Lucy. I should probably check in with him and say, what do you think about this Mandela effect thing of Ricky Ricardo saying, Lucy, you've got some splaining to do. I don't know. All right, guys. How's your Sunday going, everybody? Okay, so my hope on this stream is that I would have more people interactive on this. I want to, I'll just keep chatting about kind of the thing about the New World Order, because this whole thing about, what do you call it? The coronavirus, COVID-19. I posted a couple different videos actually. Anything with coronavirus or COVID-19 is going to have some sort of restrictions associated with it. I guess it's a trigger word for okay, I see. Yeah, that is probably true. Globebusters is going at the same time. And I haven't been watching their stuff as often lately, because I kind of like the direction of where I'm going with stuff. As far as the New World Order stuff, and I don't think that Globebusters talks that much about the spiritual aspect of things, and that's kind of a lot of what I've been talking about. So, what's up? Better late than never. So, hey, just let me know if you guys want to jump on, because I freaking post that in the. Yeah, so the reason I'm doing this stream is I want to connect with people, and I want to connect with the community that I'm a part of. So if anybody is interested in just clicking on that link and jumping on, I want to know the approach that people are taking to this whole coronavirus thing or whatever. I want to talk about this stuff, but I mean, anyways, so while you guys are considering jumping on there, I'll just keep throwing some BS at you about the New World Order. So Revelation 13 was talking about the seven-headed beast with 10 horns. Is basically implementing the beast system. Okay, Bobberette, you asked what the link is for. It's so that you can jump on the stream. So I don't know if you're on your phone or on your computer. All it is you plug in the link. It'll take you to StreamYard website, and you can actually StreamYard will take control of your video and audio or whatever, so you can start streaming from whatever device you're using. So if you're interested in getting on here, and we'll just talk about whatever. This is a community mingle is what I call it, so we can just chat about things. I just kind of want to know where you guys are at. But in the meantime, as you guys are considering jumping on the chat, or not chat, but jumping on the stream. I want to just kind of, oh, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. What's going on, man? Hey, so this link here, if you can hear me, you can plug this link in, but mute the stream on the other tab so that you don't have feedback. Basically, I want to talk to people face to face. This is my community mingle, so that we can my particular little friend. I've been wanting to talk to you about what that's all about, but anyways. You're a very interesting character, to say the least. Anyways. So if you guys are interested in jumping on, I mean, it's pretty easy. All you got to do is just follow that link, and then you can jump on. It's really easy. So anyways, so for anybody who's popping in here, just kind of wanted to listen to what I have to say. I'm a lady. Oh, so you're the, let's see. I wonder if you can still get, oh, bummer. Okay, well, sorry about that. It's amazing when you see a picture of a guy and a lady, the way things, perception is reality, as they say. Anyways. No, but I definitely, that's why I'm wanting to connect with people, because I want to know if you're a guy or a lady or a non-binary or whatever. No, I don't know. So, that is your brother. Okay. Cool. Well, that helps me kind of have a different perspective on our commenting back and forth or whatever. Okay. So anyways, I'm glad, well, I'm assuming you know I'm a guy, right? At least that's what I like to project to the world. So anyways, sorry, I'm kind of like all over the place. I'm just trying to get you guys to jump on the stream. Hopefully one of these, if you're able to plug that web address into your search, and then, oh, here we go. Got somebody coming in. Oh, hold on. Hello.
Shalom, my little friend. Can you hear me?
Oh my gosh. I can hear you just great.
Right on, right on. I got a bunch of vehicles going on behind me, but I'll move. Oh my goodness. What's up, Duck?
See, this is why I like to do stuff like this, so I can just talk to people wherever they are in the world. And I don't know, I have a lot to say, but to be honest with you, it's harder for me to say things when I'm by myself. It makes me feel awkward. It's easier for me to talk to people.
It's nice to bounce stuff off of one another. It really is.
Yes, it is. So I don't know, it seems like you kind of came in a little bit later. I've only been streaming for 49 minutes, but I intend on going for a little bit here. But I've been talking about this this fear-based mind control, basically, with the way things are happening in the world, and I liken it to the New World Order that is predicted in the Book of Revelation, which is actually talking about the 7-headed beast with 10 horns, and so I don't know if you're familiar with that, but basically. Yeah.
Right before I checked on here, I've been kind of like looking back and forth to see if you were doing your live stream. And I was like uploading some videos, and I was talking about the coronavirus and how like I don't understand, like us as believers, we're supposed to be readers of the word. Like we shouldn't have fear of these things. One, the word tells us this stuff's going to happen. Two, Jesus, Yahushua, holy creator, he has got life, power over life and death. So like if anything happens to us, it's supposed to happen, you know? But we have got I'm seeing so many believers that are so scared, and yeah, we're to prepare and protect ourselves. Yes, but dude, there's like a fine line between being cautious and having fear over something that the word tells us it's going to happen. I mean,
Yeah.
but it is.
Obviously that's for those who are believers. Now I'm actually, my channel, I might have a bunch of people that are even on this chat that are not believers, quote unquote, but I try to appeal to, people of all varieties in the sense that, I believe in the God of everything. I don't believe in the God of the umbrella we call Christianity necessarily. I'm not saying that, Christianity doesn't have a big chunk of the pie of truth, but I don't necessarily, I look at it like an umbrella. Everybody that associates with, a movement says that they're part of that movement. But I still think that God transcends those lines, so to speak. And so anyways,
but
so,
on the conspiracy theory, okay, so
yeah.
right before we got on here, I was like uploading, talking about it, like we'll get off the Jesus, dude. The corona alone, dude. The word comes from the corona, from the eclipse. Well, no, actually, it's not from the eclipse. That's what we see, but it perplexes scientists because on the inside of the sun, it's not as hot as the outside of the sun. And the hottest part of the outside of the sun is the corona.
Yeah.
And like, so, okay, dude, they say the scientists believe that whenever the sun eventually goes out, that it's going to be a big diamond sitting in the sky. Diamonds.
Okay.
That's what quantum computer is all about. I mean, diamonds. They're like all up in it. The first ship that like got hit with the coronavirus was the Diamond Princess that brought it over here to the United States of America. Now, in 1972, Marie Helen de Rothschild, threw a surrealist ball, and she wore the head of a deer on top of her head, a deer head. Deer, if you look into the family crest of like the names of these scientists and stuff, their family crest, just the last name. Deer are all up in like the scientists and these rich folks. It's the antlers. The antlers, Cernunnos. CERN is named after Cernunnos. CERN, the Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
It's a deer. He is a deer, and excuse my language, I hope no children are listening, but he is a deer that walks around in the forest, and he wears a huge heart-on.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that is a symbol that is often used in ancient, the phallic symbol. But yeah, go ahead.
Yes. So you've got this deer, which symbolizes the Baphomet. The Baphomet is an androgynous being. The androgynous comes from the alchemists. When you become a true alchemist, you have to bring your male and female together as one. And once again, diamonds are involved in this process.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the diamonds, like they're feeding us diamonds through this technology. CERN. I don't want to get off CERN because the deer head, her wearing that deer head, the high priestess, Helen Rothschild, during this surrealist 9 months after she threw this ball, dude, they birthed the Standard Model. That is the mathematical equation. There are two main pillars of the Standard Model of quantum computing. That's the mathematical equation of it. One of the equations, one part of it, one pillar of it was birthed in 9 months. Well, actually, it was 7 months, but they didn't feed it till 9 months later. So, but dude, it was there. It was born 7 months after she threw this ball. There's no coincidences, man. Like with diamonds,
Yeah, I actually haven't looked into the diamond thing. I know that, I mean, it's kind of a symbol of, you know, like a diamond ring or something. I don't really understand the symbology of a diamond necessarily. I haven't really looked into it. But where are you at?
Oh, I'm in Tennessee.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta go to, have you ever been to, how far are you from, like where in Tennessee are you?
I'm in a little bitty town, White Bluff.
Okay. I don't even know where that is. Have you ever heard of the Ron Wyatt Museum? Oh, the archaeological.
Yeah, I didn't know that I was in Tennessee though.
Yeah, it's in Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how far you are from it, but hold on, let me see if I can look it up. So Ron Wyatt are. Okay, I'm just trying to look up the address or whatever for the museum. Let's see.
Yeah.
Gotta love live streams, how everything kind of just doesn't flow the way that I like doing post-production stuff because it's easier to manage what I'm doing, but
Your screen stuff.
yeah.
But what it all with the with the elites and throwing these parties and the occultists doing all these things, it's all bringing in this technology. Like it is part of the technology. All hieroglyphs, from the Aztecs to the Egyptians to the Native Americans. I mean, you name it. All these hieroglyphs tell the same stories of these aliens or these ascended masters, and they're coming down and they're giving us the knowledge, and they even created us. And
so, what are your thoughts on aliens? I mean, what do you consider an alien as far as an entity?
I believe that the aliens are the fallen angels. And I believe that the disembodied spirits of the giants, their children, are the spirits.
Are they spirit beings? Or are they occupying some biological creation? Or you know what I'm saying? As far as like an alien, the actual body is is something that was created to inhabit. In other words, I don't know if that's true, but anyways. Sorry, I got to ask real quick. How far are you from Cornersville?
Cornersville? I've been in Tennessee my whole life and ain't never heard of no Cornersville.
Here, let me zoom out so I can see the map here.
Dang.
This is kind of my dream. I want to go to this museum. Let's see. It's yeah, it's kind of off of like the 65 interstate, and it's not too far from Lewisburg or Whitehead.
Okay, yeah, okay. Oh man, I'm a pretty good few hours away from it. Well, maybe about 2 hours.
Yeah,
it's not far though, man. That's now
well, you're a lot closer than I am.
Where are you at?
I'm in Boise, Idaho. So I'm like way the heck. I'm on the other side of the country from you. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So, anyways, so aliens to me are. So I don't know if you've kind of looked over some of the other videos I've made, but I venture outside of the box of thinking as much as I can within reason. And I say within reason because I don't want to venture too far outside of my paradigm, I guess, because I believe that we are under God's wing, or the shadow of his wing, so to speak. And I want to make sure that as I'm researching, I don't know if you ever heard of this guy. He wrote this book called Kingdom of the Cults. I'm trying to remember his name. But he would research every philosophy out there and basically try to debunk it based on his perspective. And his perspective was really just a Bible believing Christian or whatever. And now I've kind of taken the position that Christianity is a traditional approach to this world. And, you know, even sometimes they don't, a lot of Christians don't even study the Bible. They just, you know, believe whatever they're told, so to speak. And, but as you start venturing down these roads of trying to understand things, you start realizing that there's a lot of symbology in the Bible that you kind of have to unpack or try to understand on a deeper level or a higher level meaning or whatever. And I think that there is a lot of stuff out there like that isn't necessarily in the Bible. I mean, I don't know if you're somebody that would even consider other writings as being.
Oh, the book of Enoch, Jasher. I mean, like, I'm down for it. I really believe that we've had things hidden from us. You know, like, no, man, the traditions, the iniquity of the fathers, like, they have hidden so much from our butts. People think that America was built for freedom, and it was never built for freedom, not one daggum time. Ferdinand, he was obsessed with diamonds, and they were going to India. Well, guess what? You're going to India to find diamonds. But yes, sir, I hear what you're saying. Traditional churches, we don't go to churches. They're just by this book. They're all government ran. It's redonkulous. It's just redonkulous.
I like it. I like that. That's funny. So, gosh, I want to freaking go out to Tennessee. I think it'd be pretty cool. I have a lot of people that, you know, I have a particular interest about like archaeology, and there's a few archaeological museums over there that I like. The Creation Museum that I think is Noah's Ark. Yeah, you know the Noah's Ark one?
Yeah, I do. We were going to go a few years ago and didn't get to that one.
How far is that from you?
Well, it's about where we were going to leave from. It was about an hour and a half. It wasn't far at all, really. But in our backyard, literally in our backyard are the biggest mounds in Tennessee. It's called the Sister Mounds, and
Is it like burial mounds?
Yeah, the mounds.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa. So wait, are you allowed to? So you're not allowed to dig them up, right?
No, man. But there are some that are on private property. I'm searching for the people right now. I know I'll find them. A bunch of folks know a bunch of folks around here, so we'll find them.
So there's burial mounds like in your backyard, or like it's just in the town that you're in.
Okay, I say in my backyard, but I mean, literally, it is in my backyard. I mean, it's a mile, not even a mile down the road, you know, around the corner. I could go through the woods to get to them, for sure.
So do you take the position that there's like giants or something?
Giants, yeah, Jesus had me do a video on them a while back. It's called Giants in Tennessee. And fallen angel technology, because he showed me. I mean, the land overhead down here is shaped like a serpent, and where the sacrifice spot is, you can see the mouth of it, you know, eating where the mounds are. It's very peculiar, but I was like totally blessed. But oh no! Oh! How do I pause it? Butter, dadgum you.
What happened?
My neighbor's pup got loose. My dogs are very. Hey, I gave you some information. Oh, my phone's dying. I love y'all. Have a blessed day in the name of Jesus. Put your butt on.
Oh yeah, you're kind of breaking up a little bit. You there still, or? Okay. All right. Well. So that was, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. And I think it's pretty sweet that people can just jump on here. So if you guys are interested in... Yeah, that's funny. She is funny. She actually says some weird stuff in the when she's messaging me on like videos and stuff. All this time I thought she was a guy because her picture kind of, like, if you see the picture here, so that apparently the one on the right is we wrestle not against flesh and blood. I always thought it was the guy with the big beard. Anyways, but anyways, so yeah, you know, we were talking about the burial mounds and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff in archaeology that is very like hidden. I think that there's, you know, if you ever seen that show, Search for the Lost Giants, that actually had these guys out of, yeah, these guys out of what was it, Massachusetts or something. They were researchers, and they would look for the ancient burial mounds and stuff like that, trying to get permits on how to get access to, you know, the different things that are going to shine light on the giants and things like that that inhabited the United States. And obviously there was other areas that the giants inhabited as well. But I think that there's a lot of artifacts that are here that are suppressed, and that you can't actually get access to them unless you're like in the area where they have kind of local, you know, artifacts or whatever. And like locally they have like traditions and stuff. And then they talk about like how the Indians had like little traditions. And like over here in Idaho, we're about, I don't know, 200 miles from this place in Nevada, in Winnemucca, or maybe it's Lovelock or something. But anyways, there's these caves where they had like 13-foot skeletons that were a bunch of red-headed giants that were found. And I've been wanting to go there, but apparently, you know, they don't have, or I haven't actually been over there. So like I've been to museums where they actually talk about these local traditions, but you don't hear it on a national level. You never hear about it on the mainstream. Sometimes, so anyways, as far as historically speaking, there's a lot of artifacts in the world from ancient history, ancient archaeology. And we wrestle not against flesh and blood was saying that she was well, she was referring to these mounds, these burial mounds that are like within a couple miles of her over in Tennessee. And I think that's freaking crazy. If anybody wants to jump on the live stream, freaking click on this link. I'll post it in the chat again. You should be able to find it, but I just want to mingle with people, just talk to people about their stuff, whatever they have to offer. As far as, you know, I can keep ranting about things, but again, if I haven't made myself clear, I don't like talking to myself. I would rather talk to other people. So I like to meet other people. And I know that there's other awesome live streams going on at the same time as my live stream. Maybe I'll have to rethink of the actual, yeah. So anyways, let's see. So I've been going for about an hour and 9 minutes. I probably have, I have a little bit longer. Yeah, so I was explaining about the search for the lost giants. These guys were on like the History Channel. I was very surprised that the History Channel seems so, I don't know, it's not, it's kind of like part of the the New World Order that I was talking about. So they don't really want to share all the ancient mysteries with us as a whole. I think that we're supposed to dig for the ancient mysteries. I think that I've exposed a lot of the ancient mysteries with the things I've looked into, but I think that there's a lot of hidden things in the archaeology. And, you know, there's a lot of traditions that people have, like these ancient traditions, you know, they pass word of mouth down. And that's kind of where you get this aspect of mythology, where you can't depend on mythology, because it's basically like people are, you know, embellishing these traditions. And but the thing that people don't really acknowledge is that they are traditions. They're legitimate, like, stories. They just have embellished, you know, understanding. So, like, say for instance, the giants. The giants is something I truly believe existed at one point in time. And if you look at, like, Genesis chapter 6, you'll see there were giants in the earth in those days. The ancient, the men of old, or the men of renown, or something like that. It's talking about these, what the Greeks might call the Titans. And then they have the clash of the Titans, which is actually kind of a battle that's described in the book of Genesis. So a lot of these things are legit, true story type stuff. And, you know, I just think it's pretty awesome when you really start looking into the deeper things that you literally have to just start unpacking. So I see that a few people are joining the chat, or I can see that people are coming on the live stream. The main purpose of this stream is to get people to jump on. Let's see. So if anybody wants to follow that. So YouTube, Bobberette. By the way, if you don't have a webcam, you can still probably be heard through your mic. Just saying. But I think all legends, myths come from some form of truth at some point in history. The thing is, a lot of the things like that get turned into Chinese whispers. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that are kind of the traditions that are passed down. And, you know, like, I think about, you know, I know a lot of people that are Hispanic, and hold on. So yeah, go to this link in the chat. Here, I'll post it again if you can't see it. And just follow the link, and it should prompt you to give access to your computer for certain things. If it can't like hear your voice or anything, or if it doesn't have a microphone or something, it will probably say that there's no microphone. But I don't know. I just thought maybe it'd be cool to see if you can jump on, because you have a lot of cool stuff to contribute. So anyways, let's see. So yeah, so these legends are, you know, like these traditions that are passed down. Oh yeah, so I was saying that I know a lot of Hispanic people that kind of have these superstitions, you might say. And oh sweet. Yeah, freaking come on over. I would like to hear some of your thoughts on the world and the reality that we live in, and everything and nothing, whatever you care about. I don't care. I'm just interested to hear what your thoughts are, where you're coming from. Yeah. So I probably have a few more minutes. I'm probably going to go for another half hour or so. You know, I could definitely, you know, the main reason I wanted to jump on today, other than just mingling with people and talking about whatever, is I wanted to, you know, discuss what's happening in the world. Obviously, we have a lot going on with the coronavirus. I feel like YouTube is against whatever I've been posting, and all it is speaking truth. And obviously, as a truther, people don't like what you're saying. If you're exposing certain people like Bill Gates, or exposing the New World Order, trying to push us into you know, a one world system, and they're trying to crash the economy as we speak, in my opinion. I don't know how that's going to look or how that's going to manifest. Maybe if you just say yes or okay to that, because it may just either come back with an error message that says you don't have a webcam. Just see if it'll try to allow you in, and then if it doesn't, says allow mic webcam. Okay. Anyways, if you are able to connect through this link, whether your computer or your device that you're using does not allow you to connect through that link, just try to say yes, give access to the webcam or the microphone or whatever, and see what happens. And oh my gosh, Joey. Hey, Joey, you want to jump on? I want to freaking talk to you, man. I liked a lot of the stuff you were saying before. Click on that link right there, and then freaking jump on so that we can chat, man. I like some of the stuff that you were saying when we were on Gypsy Road channel. So a bunch of people are saying that the globe busters are going right now, and I'm like, well, I can't compete with that. I'm not. I mean, I'll talk about the flat Earth, but I don't really care. I mean, that's all they talk about. They don't really talk about the spiritual aspects of things. I mean, some of them do, maybe, but Jaren and Iru and Bob. Bob will talk a little bit about that stuff, about the spiritual side of things. But I kind of, that's my spin. I like to try to approach this from, this is our dimension of reality that we can perceive. This is what we see from our vantage point. And, but there is something that's beyond. I don't know. Hold on, I'm gonna, Joey. Okay. Anyways, I have a feeling that Joey, dude, ever since I talked to you on Gypsy Road, I actually have been thinking about this aspect of near-death experiences where people, if they have a brush with death or something that could take their life, will give kind of an extra perception ability. So my extra perception ability would be oh, Joey. I don't know about that, but perspective is everything. So yeah, I really like to be open. I like to be open to other perspective, because really when you have a perspective, it limits, it's almost like a funnel. If you consider a funnel, it kind of is shaped like this, right? You know, it's like a big thing like this, and it has a small opening at the bottom. But at the same time, you could look at it like a lens, like glasses. It helps you see things more clearly, but it also restricts how you see things from the other side of the spectrum. I think that it's possible to, I think that there's positive aspects to both. If you're looking at the reality through a funnel, you're gonna really, you're just gonna eat the meat and spit out the bones. You're gonna consider the things that are most vital to reality that we're in, and yeah, tunnel vision, exactly, or funnel vision. So basically, yeah, I call it funnel vision because you're looking through. I'm trying to line up my thumbs here. So if you're so if you have a funnel, you're getting information. You eat the meat, spit out the bones, and you take away the important aspects. But at the same time, if you have the correct filter or lens of interpretation, that's right, funnel vision. But if you interpret, so I take the position that you have to have the correct filter of belief or understanding in order to properly interpret reality. Now, what is my take on that? I mean, I've been trying to be open-minded to the point where maybe that's what it is being open-minded. That's where you become more aware or more understanding of certain things. If you're open-minded, instead of, so like say for instance, this funnel could actually look like something that is restricting you from seeing truth or seeing reality for what it is. Come on, Joey, freaking jump on, man. Jump on, man. Let's see. Just click on the link. And I see that there's 8 people active on the chat. If you guys are just getting in, tell me where you're calling me from or talking to me from. Just put it in the chat. Say, I'm in Boise, Idaho. Talked to some people already that are in Tennessee, in Washington. I don't know where YouTube Bobberette is. I want to say that you're probably, you say you drink tea all the time, makes me think that you're in the UK or something. What, in the funnel vision? Yeah, I think that being curious is good, but I think it can be easy to derail yourself if you're not focused. So I've taken the position that there are things that there's implications. There's implications to understanding or believing certain things correctly. And Rhode Island. Hey, David Wolf, how's it going, man? Or maybe I should assume that, maybe I shouldn't assume you're a man, because when I was talking to, what is it? We wrestle not against flesh and blood. I thought it was a guy when it's actually a girl. So this image of zombie Hillary Clinton makes me wonder if good. It's good to know that I was correct in my assessment. Anyways, hey, so this is my my community live stream. If anybody wants to click on this link and jump on, I want to kind of talk to people about their perspective. And yeah, David Wolf. I've seen your name around. I don't know if you jump on these streams often, but looks like I have somebody waiting.
I wanted to see if I can actually go live anymore.
Oh, wow. What's up, man?
What's going on? Suso. I don't even have my name in there here. Yeah, I was just live since about noon Mountain Time. I had Cynthia Sue Larson on. Nachikita, you probably know some of these names. Sean Indica,
Yeah.
Mark Up a Carpet, the Black Sheep Researcher, One Eileen, and I had more emails going out. And as people would leave, other people would come in, and we were just rolling around in circles. You know, we covered what's going on. Nobody said whether they thought it was real or not. They just everybody kind of went around that. We started talking toilet paper.
Oh yeah, everybody likes talking about that.
And about how death may be a catalyst to noticing changes in history or shifting your consciousness into another timeline. And we were getting into that, and nothing, no explanation. No, I'm still waiting for an email from them. I'm getting nothing. I'm not allowed to live stream anymore. I don't know if that. I doubt that's forever. It's probably what, 30 days or whatever. So no, but I can jump on live streams apparently.
Yeah, it's pretty easy actually. So, where are you coming from again?
My channel or personally?
Well, where are you at in the world?
I'm in the middle of the Colorado Rocky Mountains. Okay.
Yeah, so that explains mountain time. I'm in Idaho, so I'm not too far from you. I'm in mountain time.
You near Ketchum?
Kinda. I mean, it's not too far.
I could have met you there at the Mandela Effect conference. See
Are you flipping kidding me? Why did I not know about that?
How did you not know about that? Listen, in about 20 minutes, they're going to be doing an excerpt from that, I believe, on Cynthia Sue Larson's channel. I mean, I'm not trying to chase anybody from here.
Yeah, Ketchum is Sun Valley, I believe, which is a very popular conference area. There's people that go there. In fact, I don't know. I do a lot of research on near-death experiences, and I talked to this guy, Eben Alexander, who's like very famous guy in the near-death experience world. And he said that they're going to have a conference up in Ketchum or Sun Valley area. And that's maybe about an hour and a half drive from here. So
I did 12 hours straight to get there.
Oh, wow.
And 12 hours straight back. Actually, it was more like 13 straight back. I don't know why it took a little longer. That was amazing because I was surrounded by for 3 days, coming and going, surrounded with people who didn't have my same outlook on things, but yet I was going, cool, I agree or disagree, but this is great. We're not fighting and arguing and, you know, this is how it's supposed to be. And nobody's looking at you funny when they go, like there was a bilocation circumstance there. You know, one girl was outside talking with another girl, and the one girl was actually up in her room.
So who all was there? Did you meet anybody that was part of the community that we're all connected with, like Brian Stavely or?
Brian was not there. I think he considered showing, but he just got done doing a flat Earth trip.
Yeah,
So
and I know that there's
closed.
going to be a lot of problems with congregating nowadays with all the crap that's happening.
I met Guy Fawkes, if we all remember him. He's been offline for a couple months now. I met Scarab Performance. I met Eva, Once Upon a Timeline. Obviously, all the speakers, Chris Sinatra, Kimberly Lynn Hansen, Shane Robinson from Unbiased and on the Fence, Lauren Pavel, and who did I miss? Oh, Dark Wolf's Den. I mean, have you heard these names?
No, not really.
They're all basically Mandela affected communities that are out there. And that's what I was doing with this stream that I just got done. I took about 3 or 4 people that I listen to that I know are into the Mandela effect and affected, and they, whether I agree with them or not, I didn't care. And I have this group over here that's all into it, and I find out they don't really know each other. So I actually at one point had 4 of them that heard of, up on the screen, that heard of each other, never really met. And that's what I was doing. I was bringing people together, and they don't want that. I'm a small channel. I had 20 people watching, 5 people, 4 people on screen. And that's what my goal was. I had people in England, a guy in the Himalayas, Canada, East Coast.
So this is your live stream that you had from your channel?
Just now, yeah, on my channel. I started it at noon.
So I'm not familiar with your channel. So Suso, is that your channel name?
That is my channel name. It went up in 2006. Actually, that's not true. It was 2006 is when I started the channel. Never posted a thing until 2016 because I was having the experiences in 15. Who thought to run all over the YouTube telling people that stars were coming at me and orbs were descending upon me and people were coming out of TV screens. And I wrote a book about it. It all slowed down in the middle of 16, which is April of 16. That's when I started posting about my experiences. And then mid last year, I started to get this feeling like I need to get off of YouTube. I need to get off of YouTube. So what I did is I told everybody in a video that I was getting off and I was just going to leave the channel. And I wasn't getting off. I wasn't chatting. I wasn't telling people I was there. I wasn't doing what I said I was going to do. And I wasn't picking anything up I needed to pick up. So finally, I got all drunk one night and purged my entire channel. So I lost almost 300 videos because, everybody's like, wow, why didn't you just undo them? I said, because I was still getting on and, whatever. So about 2 months go by and I learned so much from being offline in 2 months. I jump back on. Yeah. I do a video. I created a new Suso channel. I started to re-upload all of my old videos. They're on there now. I got them under for years, like 2016. Each video.
Yeah, I just found you on YouTube, and I subscribed to you. I didn't even know you existed until right now. So
I've seen.
This is why I wanted to do my. Yeah, this is why I want to do my live stream. Is I like to connect with people across the community, and
that's what we're going to have to do.
Yeah, and it's good to be able to help support each other by subscribing and just helping the algorithm as far as getting people out there. Because to be honest with you, unless you have support from other people liking, by the way, if anybody hasn't liked this video or this live stream, click the thumbs up because we want to get the word out there for just truth or whatever perspective you're coming from. I want to actually contrast and kind of, I'm trying to sort through all these things. I think all of us are.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you what, 99 cents on Kindle for my book. You'd love the experiences. I can go through a couple of them, but it wasn't just the Mandela effect that hit me in 15. I had everything hit me at once. And I'm standing there like, really? What's going on? I mean, I came to a point where I'm not suicidal, but I'm just going through the motions, waiting to die, because I'm like, this is nuts. I got Christian Bale coming out of the TV, asking me what I'm waiting for. I wasn't even smoking pot then. I was in Mississippi. It's illegal down there. I wasn't even touching that. This scar here, I got a scar. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I got a scar right here. It originated here. I found that in Mississippi. I mean, these were the things that were going on with me. So
let me ask you a question, because I I don't think everybody experiences the Mandela effect. I think some people do. I think that like your experience, saying you saw your scar go to a different arm or whatever, and I kind of wonder, like, maybe you have some extra sensory something going on.
Well, I got something going on. Well, when I wrote the first book, because I'm starting the second one already. When I wrote the first book, the third chapter, I believe, I put in, just to give it some volume, I put a little childhood experience in the book. What the experience was about my communication with my imaginary friend, with whatever I was speaking with. I was having these conversations, and it, once in a while, it would actually be physical. It was a light. In one circumstance, I was in danger, and it said, come on, let's go play over here. And I moved, and I hid, and I watched this guy that would have kidnapped me and the whole bit. I just put that in the book to pick up volume. And what happened when I was in Ketchum, Idaho, I met these people. And from speaking with Kimberly Lynn Hansen, she was one of the speakers up there. All of a sudden, I start practicing what she's talking about, and I get this connection again. And I realize it's always been there. The connection was always there. I guess society or whatever, I just stopped talking to it or communicating with it. So now that's all I've been doing since like December, is trying to get that connection stronger. And that would be meditate and then get rid of all the things. The orbs descended upon me and gave me a list of things to do and not to do. I was not this calm when that stuff went on. I was, with a beer and a cigarette thinking, wow, alcohol and cigarettes aren't on that list. Believe me, it was paragraphs of information that I just was not getting. And I'm backing up in the doorway all freaking out. And I'm like, I'm not getting all that. And then I started to get pinpoints of information. I don't know how important that information is now, but then for me, it was stop eating meat. Stop eating meat was number 1 and 2.
Would you consider yourself a vegetarian or a vegan?
If somebody offers me food while this is going on and there's meat on the plate, I'm eating it.
Okay.
I mean, what happened was, when that happened, I stopped eating meat for a good 3 weeks to a month, and then I started to have other experiences. Because I was also, number 3 was no release of sexual energy. That was also happening. So now I'm keeping that energy in, and I'm putting better energy in, and that combination, with the proper thinking and everything else that was on that list, with all those combinations, I just started to have other experiences. Just didn't know how to interpret them. I mean, I was studying Egyptian writings on how they think the stars are souls, and I was looking at some flat Earth material in the middle of 15. And I went outside and I went, I bet you're all just UFOs. And the first one came right at me. And I froze. I tried to get out of the way. I couldn't. I gave up. I mean, it was like, that's how quick it happened. And I just gave up. I had a cigarette in my hand, just standing there, and it reached my heart. Now,
so are you saying it was one of the stars you were looking at turned into a UFO?
No, I don't know what it turned into, or if it turned into anything, because my big thing was, when I was studying the flat Earth things, is where's the sun, where's the star, where's the moon? That was my thing. I mean, if we're in a dome and it's flat and all this other stuff, I'm trying to figure it out. I wasn't on board with anything. What I think happened was, they were communicating to me that they weren't suns with planets revolving around them. And yes, it was a star. And the first one came directly at me like rubber band, like it was a line, and then it shot back. And then they just started blinking at me and coming at me from all over. I say this happened for 2.5 minutes. I froze. I just watched this in awe. It was
that's really weird.
8/8/15, August 8th, 2015. Never forget it. And of course, they were reporting meteor showers then. I had a friend of mine call going, yeah, there's a space battle going on tomorrow. And this guy, I think, was connected, because I'm like, why are you telling me this? And then that's when that happened. And I'm like, well, I'm not even going to tell him that happened. It was like, I don't even understand any of this. Why is this going on? But I think it was to show me that stars weren't suns with planets revolving around them. And that they were intelligent beings, or something behind it was controlling these lights, something intelligent. So I go out and look at the stars all the time. And if you'll see on my channel, some of the videos I put are just of stars. Now, if I zoom in on these stars, they look like the orbs that were hovering over my head. Okay, when I zoom in, when I zoom into a star, I get this plasma looking thing, and that's kind of what these orbs look like. So I put all that together and I went, holy cow, could they have been stars? You know, I don't really know. I love the speculation. I love the idea.
Yeah, I've seen videos where and they're being or whatever they are. I don't know. I mean, it looks like it's either the camera is starting to distort somehow, or it's an actual energetic type anomaly, or I don't even know what you consider it. But and then you talk about orbs. Now people talk about orbs and like, I almost look at it like they're just little dust particles that are flashing into the light spectrum. And
Okay.
and I want to know.
I've had that on some of my videos.
What's that?
I'm in a very old building, 140 years old, and I've sat in a room and I set the camera up and I sat down on the couch and I'm talking.
You see a bunch of dust come up,
and then when I went back and watched the video, this thing shoots up, it comes right for the camera, it's going all over. Then the light goes off and I can still kind of see them. I'm like, okay, it wasn't the light. It's not dust particles. These things are shooting all over and making right-hand
turns. So it's a lot like the UFOs that we see in the sky when you see, because I've seen, in fact, I have a video. Yeah,
they were small. The orbs that I saw were about 20 yards over my head and the size of cars. Mm-hmm. Okay, these things weren't orbs the way we talk about them now. I didn't know how else to label it. I'm looking at this thing. I described it as transparent, but you can't see through it because I could see in it. And I could see like this one little dot inside, kind of bigger dot, kind of rolling around inside. There was two of them. The one on the left dissipated, and the one on the right. After the one on the left dissipated, the one on the right told me that it was me, and the one that left was my me. And I don't even think I put that in the book. I don't even think I talk about that in the book because that was just part of the whole thing. I'm just like, what's going on?
So what are these orbs in you? Do you think that there's some sort of, I don't know, like people might look at them like there's some sort of guardian angels or something, or spirit guides or whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
Small ones?
Or small ones, big ones, whatever. I don't know.
Oh, well, look, I look at it this way. When those two orbs, giant amoeba looking things, were shooting information over my head. I mean, look, I've been looking for UFOs my whole life, never seen anything. And now I see these things, and they're to me, they're intelligent beings. If I was living in biblical times, two angels descended upon me and gave me information that I'm to write and create a Bible, or I mean that.
Yeah.
They were.
So do you feel like you had some special like insight after you had this interaction? Like, do you feel like you just had the surge of knowledge that you just wanted to put on paper?
And I did. And a lot of things for the past 2 years, like I say, the orbs descended and gave me information. It was literally 10 or 12 things, and it was paragraphs. It was number one, and a paragraph of information on that topic. Number two, a paragraph on that, a paragraph, all the way down the line. I wasn't really getting any of that. So they gave me bullet points or whatever. What was the question as far as were they giving me insight? Because for 2 years, those paragraphs have been coming back to me. Like I'll have a personal issue with unforgiveness, which was one of the things on the list. And I'm like, wow, how do I do this? I really got to forgive this person. I know it, I can say it, but am I really doing it? And I don't understand. And I would get information from that paragraph that hit me 2 years ago. This is how it was just the information would just come in. So those things, as the topic would come up, I mean, I didn't even notice this until recently, because it would just happen and I'd just check it out. We'd just go with it.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by this. I've kind of taken the position now where there's some people that have extra abilities, others don't. Like research and near-death experiences, people come back with transformative type, comes back like more keen or more heightened. Not just their perception, but they they'll see things like differently, or they'll like they have a different filter of understanding. So they completely come back transformed, in other words. But then there's some people that might have some telepathic, or, you know, there's so many different ways that people actually come back. But you know, Joey, this guy in the chat here, he was, when I was on Gypsy Road, you know, we were talking a little bit about when somebody has a brush with death, or even just a near or a potential death experience. So in other words, like if you get in a car wreck or something and you're not injured, but if you were hit a certain way, you could die, right? So you had a brush with death, even though you weren't severely injured. See, my whole perception on that was like, what if this dog that mauled me when I was 5, you know, got my neck and ripped out my jugular? I would have been dead, right? So it ripped my lip almost completely off, and it ripped my legs open. But, you know, Joey suggested that because I had such a close call with death, even though I didn't come close to dying necessarily, I had an opportunity to die if things worked out differently, that I had extra senses.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, you pick up a little psychic ability. That's what I think happened to me. Now, also in the book is I impaled myself. I didn't know it. Dude, it went right through where the heart used to be. A week later, the heart was here. But back to the story, my heart, where I remember it being, a glass table. I just fell flat on my face. It went right through me. I could feel it coming out my back, but it was pitch black. I had no idea that it happened. I did not know it. I just started to push myself up off the ground. I'm going, whoa, that penetrated me. And I felt no pain whatsoever. I have no idea how long I was on all fours, but when I pushed myself up and flicked on the light, the table that I impaled myself on was behind another table. It was like everything was moved, and I couldn't really see because the light was blinding me. But after that, it's like I started to notice changes in history. I was already aware of the Mandela effect. I wasn't completely on board. I'm looking at it going, Berenstain Bears, this is a new children's book to me. They just showed up in 2012. I for some reason, I remember standing in a bookstore in Pittsburgh staring at these things. I called my daughter because I get online and they're telling me they've been around since '62. I'm like, it was a brand new book. And everybody's complaining about the spelling. I couldn't even tell you how it was spelled. I call my daughter. She tells me I read the books to her the whole time she was a child. Every day we were reading Berenstain books to her. I never heard of them. I was reading Winnie the Pooh in my timeline. I was reading books there that were other things, but I never heard of a Berenstain Bear. But that's the changes, and the heart moved a week later. And I'm telling you, I wasn't like this. I was just walking around in a daze in a robe because I took a voluntary layoff from work. And for 2 months, I'm just not coming out of my robe, sleeping for 5 hours, eating 1 meal a day. At night, I could feel the evil leaving my body. During the day, it was nothing but clouds. And it was like I was waiting for a neon sign. Please excuse us while we change your reality. I mean, and I just was in a daze.
So, you know, what's interesting is I haven't really heard anything about Mandela effect until this kind of shift has taken place just across the whole plane of reality. It seems like, you know, they have these ages, like the age of Pisces and age of Aquarius or whatever. So I started looking at these. I contrasted the ages with kind of the biblical understanding of people, kind of under like the Great Awakening, so to speak. Like there's a shift in perception, not just in understanding, but our physical reality. And you know, the whole Mandela effect is really just kind of how we harness, you know, understanding on how that shift is actually taking place. And I think some people are aware of the shift and other people are not aware of the shift. And I am not fully aware of it, but I'm open-minded to it. And the more open-minded you become to certain things, the more you start to perceive it differently or whatever. I don't know. It's so weird the way that all this kind of comes together. And
oh, I know. It gets very intricate, especially that when you say shift, do you mean a shift in consciousness?
Sure.
Or are we
Yeah,
just
shift
in
in conscious. Yeah, shift in consciousness, timeline, a shift in reality. You know, like you were saying how you could the Berenstein Bear, whatever, the whole Mandela effect in general is really just the way people perceive reality. If they have a certain memory or whatever that they believe was real, but then come to look at it, it's completely different. I mean, I don't know if there's like a residual memory that is from a previous age, so to speak. That like the age of Pisces shifting to the age of Aquarius. I'm not like necessarily that guy that fully researches the astrology thing, but I just like to contrast all kinds of different beliefs and look for patterns in all of them. And I start seeing a lot of patterns, and that's kind of been kind of the focus of a lot of what I've been looking into lately is seeing patterns in everything. So
nice. Charlie, is it?
Yeah, you can call me Charlie. My channel's Forbes Truth. Did you find me through Brian Stavely, or did you find me through Gypsy Road?
Brian Stavely. I have not. I think me and Gypsy Road have said hello and chat to each other. That's about it. I need to connect with him because, like I said, that's what I was doing. I was connecting with different people that have channels, putting them all together. And well, I'm not that big a channel. I mean, I did have 2,000 subs before I purged my channel last year, and now I got 500. It's like I can't go really live for YouTube anyway, right? I need 1,000 subs or something.
Yeah, you can do it through StreamYard, can't you?
Well, that's what I was doing. And StreamYard, they're like, we don't care what you do, but YouTube won't let me on.
Yeah, okay. So the reason I kind of prefaced the whole stream today talking about how YouTube is kind of part of this new world order, right? You have kind of this whole okay, so the coronavirus, right, is kind of taking over the world. And I posted a video that was talking about how you can kind of fight the coronavirus without medication. So like you just drink like a lot of hot tea, get in a sauna and just start breathing deeply, and the hot air will actually kill the virus. Because there's a lot of people that have been doing research, and they found that the coronavirus actually has a weakness, and that's high heat. The interesting thing about that is, YouTube actually restricted my video. They say it's not suitable for advertisers or something like that. And I thought all it was just like telling people to drink hot tea and breathe hot air. I mean, really, it's because I used the trigger word coronavirus. It's because I think that YouTube is scouring the algorithm, trying to see if there's anybody that's trying to promote alternative thinking. And I think that YouTube is part of the new world order. That's kind of the way I look at it. And, the fact that we have a forum on YouTube is good, but at the same time, they're going to restrict us the best way they can. And they have to be able to monitor us to some degree as far as what content we're putting out. But anyways, I appreciate you freaking jumping in here.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm
trying to keep track with everybody going on.
No, it's all good, man. So are you on a different chat, or are you chatting on this?
I'm on a different chat. I was invited.
Okay.
There's that conference thing that was in Idaho. That's up, and I'm about to ask a bunch of questions. So they asked me to come and chat.
That's freaking cool, man. I wish I would have gone to that. That would have been awesome.
I'm shocked you were that close and didn't know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get integrated into the community here, and I'm kind of coming in from left field, I guess you could say, because I mean, yeah, I talked a lot about flat Earth and stuff when I was 2015, 16, 17, and then I kind of fizzled out on the flat Earth stuff because there's a lot of people talking about it.
I keep going. I don't know. I'm pretty. Listen, because of the experiences I had with the stars, I'm pretty sure it's not a ball. I'm not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like everything I've seen. I'm like, well, it might not be flat, but it ain't a ball.
Well, so everything to me, as far as scientific observation, points to it being flat to me. But at the same time, when I'm looking up in the heavens, it looks different. Like the way that the sun, sets and then comes back around the other side, it almost seems like it's some sort of alternate reality that up in the heavens. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily our reality. So like whenever like my brother or something, he'll say, well, if it's flat, then how can you explain what's happening in the heavens? And I'm like, I don't really know if the heavens has anything to do with this flat plane or whatever. I just think that maybe it has the look of, kind of a globular, way of looking at it when you're actually peering up in the heavens. So I don't know. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know the best thing you could say in any of these communities. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is I believe that it's flat, but at the same time, I don't like to project it like I'm an absolutist.
No, because if you say it's flat, you're just as guilty as when you said it was a globe.
Yeah,
you're listening to other people. You ain't seen it. That's what I keep trying to explain to everybody. I said it's a horrible name for the movement.
but flat earthers, yeah,
but it gets attention. Mandela effect is a horrible name for that movement, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
that's what they listen. Those names were pushed. That's part of the agenda. These things were pushed upon us because how long would I have walked around noticing Listerine? The spelling's different. Because I noticed it in the 80s, and then I didn't think nothing of it. I just was like, I guess they changed the spelling. That was the end of it for me. I could have went on looking at Mandela effects, totally taking downloads and just blowing it off. That's what we've all done probably our whole lives, is just blew it off. The car accidents that I was in, that I'm like, wow, I'm a little banged up, but I really, everybody behind me died. And I was.
See, so going back to that thing about what Joey was saying, is that you might have been in a position where you could have been dead. Absolutely. And I don't know if you gained any kind of extra perception after that. And I almost feel like there's something to that. Anybody that has never actually had a brush with death or even been injured in any way, I mean, sometimes they have a certain interest in trying to do this research, but for the most part, maybe Joey's onto something when he says that.
I believe I believe that absolutely. I think death is a catalyst to shifting timelines. I don't think you have to die to do it.
Yeah.
I just think it's a forced way, and I think if we're going to get even a little bit deeper, we're all in our own dimension, but we're interacting with each other because our consciousness level is very close. Anybody that you feel is an NPC or whatever like that, to me, they're real somewhere, just not in the dimension you're in or no place near them. That's why they're walking around like zombies doing whatever they're told, because they're not really here. They're off living their life in their own timeline dimension, experiencing what they have to experience. Because in truth, I'm the only one here right now. I'm not like solipsism.
As far as consciousness is concerned, you're conscious of your own the things you perceive.
As far as I know, I am truly the only one here, and I'm creating all this. I don't know that. I don't know that I didn't just wake up this morning with all these memories in my head, and this is the first time I'm actually physical. I mean, I don't know that. I mean, I think I remember yesterday.
So what are your thoughts on this? I'm starting to think the soul is gradient. I don't know what that means, but
I was just going to say I need the definition of the word gradient.
Maybe our soul is transcendent, like it intermingles between realities. I don't know if that's what she's trying to say, but I kind of look at it like we have more than one part of our nature. We have a physical body here, but we also have a spiritual roots that are integrated into like the higher reality, I guess you could say.
Yeah, this to me, we're doing this to experience individuality. That's that's one of the reasons, I'm sure, or one of the ideas. I don't know.
I just think it's cool that people are interested in trying to figure out what that is. Unfortunately, a lot of the people that I kind of was raised around, they're kind of in the box thinking as far as, because I came from the Christian background, and a lot of people are
brought up Catholic.
Yeah, so
I'm screwed up.
Well, and a lot of people that I talked to that were Catholic were like, let me get as far away from that as I can and venture into the. It almost seems like their roots are no longer in Catholicism. Like maybe the roots are. It's almost like the roots are really just like they completely wanted to uproot from that philosophy and root into something else. Like for me, I'm still rooted in Christianity to some degree, but I don't like the traditional aspects of it as much because I feel like a lot of it was all just like a Mandela effect. Like, they just started to believe a certain way, and then it became a community of just spreading knowledge from one person to the other, not necessarily researching on their own.
Yeah, I tell you, I've been getting into the comedies on that, and I'm not a movie person, but we got nothing else. I work downstairs in the bar, and that's all we're doing is sitting around waiting for locals or somebody to come in for a takeout meal. I mean, I'm lucky I'm still even doing that.
Yeah.
Hey, Charlie, I'm going to roll. Thanks a lot for having me on. I'm going to pop in and out.
Yeah, your timing is good actually, because I'm getting ready to end my stream because my wife has already been texting me like, cool. When are you going to wrap up?
We're definitely going to catch up though, for sure. Talk again.
No, I'll try to do this on Sundays, but I get the feeling I won't be able to do it the next couple Sundays because I just decided to go back to my old job, so my Sundays are no longer going to be free for a little bit. But I would like to kind of do a weekly kind of thing like this. So
cool.
I appreciate you stopping in, man.
You got it, man. Talk to you later, Charles. We'll keep in touch.
All right. Talk to you later. And just to kind of wrap up the show, everybody, I appreciate you stopping in and having a chat, at least in the live chat. But I want to give people the opportunity to jump on to the live stream as well if you ever have thoughts. I was able to talk to Suso, and I was able to talk to We Wrestle Not Against Flesh and Blood. So I feel like this was a successful stream. I apologize for any technical difficulties because I'm still trying to figure out the StreamYard software and like sharing. I don't know how to make the audio work, so I'll have to do a little research when I'm sharing a video. But anyways, if you haven't already looked into it, be sure to look into. If you haven't opened your Bible, if you take the Bible from, Gypsy Road just popped in for a second. Hey, if you're interested, Eric, I might have a few more minutes to chat. So if you are interested in, popping in for just a second, I wouldn't mind saying hi. So let's see. So Eric, if you can see this, I wouldn't mind chatting with you for a second. And then I know my wife has already told me not to. I don't know, Eric, if you have a minute, but that's okay if you don't. I was kind of wrapping up anyway. I'm afraid that if I let you come on right now, it'll probably never end. Okay, good. So it sounds like you're on the road. So that kind of saves me a little bit from trying to explain why I'm not able to get off the stream yet. But anyways, no, I appreciate everybody. And if you guys are open-minded and you're still trying to seek, trying to understand reality. I want to kind of shine light on in the Bible, Daniel chapter 7, Revelation chapter 13. Chapter 7 talks about the beast that come out of the sea. The sea represents people, and the beasts represent kings or kingdoms. The book of Revelation talks about, in chapter 13, basically the seven-headed beast with 10 horns is the new world order, or the world government. And I just think that's freaking a crazy little tie-in when it comes to the way that things are starting to look right now. I think they're trying to implement the new world order. So with this whole coronavirus thing, I think that this is just the early stages of trying to, implement, incremental steps that will advance to the next stages of the new world order. So these are things to just keep in mind. So I appreciate everybody that was willing and able to watch. And I appreciate everybody in the live stream. Yeah, so if you haven't already, give me a thumbs up on the video. And that way, we can get the word out there. And I'll check back with you guys here in the near future. And yeah, watch the whole video. Yeah, man, I used to live in Seattle. I know how the homeless situation is. It's freaking bad. And obviously Washington's getting hit harder with the coronavirus. So obviously the coronavirus is a real thing, but I believe that they want people to be sick to some degree, and it's part of population control. Look at the Georgia Guidestones. It's they want to keep a population under 500 million in the world, and that is only achievable through killing people or suppressing their reproduction. Yeah, that's a great note to end on. So I appreciate everybody watching. Have an amazing Sunday. We'll talk to you later.